What's good everybody? If you're new to the channel and you're watching this video, the chances are that you're unsure about how to track your macros and you want to find out why should you track them, what do you use to track them, but most of all you're probably wondering what are the actual benefits of actually tracking your macros. I'm going to make sure this video is very easy to understand and you want to leave this video knowing what to do to see progress. That's it, and that's what I'm going to give you guys, so stay tuned. The first thing you need to know is what are actual macros. Macros stands for macronutrients. And macronutrients refers to the main three compounds that all diet includes, which is carbs, proteins and fats. Those three compounds are what make up calories. So per 1 gram of carbs is 4 calories, per 1 gram of protein is 4 calories, and per 1 gram of fats is 9 calories. So that is what makes up your total calorie daily allowance. And if you don't know what I mean by that, basically say when someone says they're having 200 grams of carbs, what that is 800 calories, because 200 times by the 4 calories per gram equals 800 calories. So basically that is the foundation of what macros are and what makes them up. The next that you're probably thinking is, how do you even track macros? The easiest way in my opinion to do it is to use a food tracker. Most people use it. Like a lot of people use myfitnesspal. That's the one that I personally use. It's a very easy app you can get on your phone. It's free. You can put it on your phone, your tablet. You can do it online on the computer. There's many ways to do myfitnesspal, so there's no excuse. And all you have to do is scan items. For example, if I want to scan in using some of this peanut butter, all you have to do is go onto the app, choose who you want to scan it for. I'd probably put it in snacks, choose the barcode, then all you have to do is scan and it'll come up with the macronutrients for it. And it's as simple as that. From that point onwards, all you have to do then is choose like how much you're using, because you normally either weigh it out or use the serving size. The one thing I will say is that always double check if you're adding something new to myfitnesspal, always double check the nutritional value, because sometimes people input it wrong, because normal people can add these in. Unless it's been verified, it can be like the wrong amount. So I always double check when I check the packets of new food. And you're probably thinking, what about items that aren't scanned or when you go out to eat? If you type in KFC in all sorts of different places and different stores or different types of products, there's a whole like library of all types of foods. Like I could type in apples, I could type in things that you can't scan and they will still appear in there, so don't worry. So you can still track macros while on the go as well. So we've covered all the basics now, as in what are macros and how to track them and how to use the app and stuff like that. What we need to do now is figure out your personal macros and calories to follow, because a lot of people always will message me and ask me for my exact macros and calories so they can follow it as well. And the reason why I emphasize your macros is because it does have to be particular to you. There's no one box for everyone to kind of follow, so you can't expect to follow the exact same macros I am. It's all about finding what works best for you, because everybody's different. My personal recommendation for people to find out their own personal maintenance calories is to use myfitnesspal, which I just told you, and track your daily calories every single day for like 5 to 7 days, and then find the average amount of calories. Once you've done that, you figured out the calories that you need to kind of hit to keep the same weight. Then if you want to like start bulking, if you know what bulking is, you go in like a surplus of calories, which just means eating more calories than your maintenance. And then if you're cutting or trying to lose weight, then you eat in a deficit, which is slightly less. The one thing that people do here though, they always go in extremes. Like they say, oh, I'm bulking now, so they're gonna add like 500, 600 calories straight away, or I'm cutting, I'm gonna chop my calories in half. Don't do that. Slow and steady wins the fucking race. I always say it. So if you've personally now decided that you want to cut or you want to bulk, start off slow. So what I would do is add say 100 calories or decrease by 100 calories depending on what your goal is, and then do it gradual. So like stick at that 100 calorie surplus or deficit, and while you're still making progress, keep at that level. When progress slows down or halts, then you add like an extra 50 calories to your deficit or to your surplus, and slowly gradually move it up like that, and you'll make progress. A lot of people call this lean bulking or a controlled cut, whatever you want to call it, whatever phrase, but that is my opinion the best way to do it. People that always go extremes and go too far, do like a dirty bulk or cut too severely, they always find out that there's going to be other disadvantages to it. If you do a dirty bulk, you're going to get a lot more fat than you would normally, which means when you're cutting it's going to take a lot longer and it's just going to be more hassle. You're going to be hard to like go from eating really bingy foods to eating like a better diet. And if you do the extreme cutting version I just said to you, you're going to lose a lot more muscle mass than you should, because your body needs macronutrients and calories to actually help your body grow. So if you're going to chop your calories, which is this main energy source, you're going to obviously see negative side effects there. Restrain yourself. It's usually the younger audience, but all I can say is restrain yourself and think logical. Anything that is good in life always takes time to get usually. Quick and easy is never the best route, especially when it comes to your health. So just learn as you go along and improve your diet and improve your mindset and improve your training. In the event that for some reason you don't want to personally track your calories for the 5-7 days, I'm also going to include a link below. Based on your age, your sex and your activity level, it'll kind of like give you like a rough kind of calorie set to follow if you're trying to maintain, bulk or cut. It provides all the macros for you, like a suggestion. And I will say I did test it out first and it was pretty spot on. I think it was within like, I think 100 calories of what my maintenance was. But I would also still recommend you actually doing it the manual way and doing it for yourself rather than using a calculator, because that's a one size fits all, which is just meant to be a guide. You should still know your personal calories. Okay, we just spoke about how to track your calories. A lot of people now always wonder what other macros to follow, like what macro range should they be following. And my base that I always start with is 40% carbs, 35% protein, and the rest of it just filling with fats. And that's always my base, and I always, depending on what I'm doing, if I'm bulking or if I'm cutting, I'll kind of fluctuate. For example, if I'm bulking, I'll probably add a bit more carbs, a bit more protein. If I'm cutting, I'll probably keep the protein as high as I possibly can, and then like lower down the carbs. Fats throughout both these periods usually keep the percentage to the point where my fats doesn't really go higher than like 65 and never goes lower than like 50. So it's mainly the carbs and proteins where I kind of fluctuate, and that's kind of my average base, and it's done me well personally. If you've been following the channel or I've shown videos, you see the thumbnail, you can see that it has done me good. Hopefully so far a lot of you are following what I'm saying, and it's not coming across complicated. It's coming across nice and simple and easy to follow, because that is the aim of this video. Okay, and the next step I want to talk about is what people always say and ask is, do you need to track your macros every single day? And in my opinion, I don't think you have to, but if you're a beginner, I recommend that you should. Purely down to the fact that as a beginner, you need to learn portion sizes. You need to like be able to look at like a piece of food, like a piece of chicken, and go, okay, I roughly know the calories and macros is for that. And when it gets to the point when you can like identify most of the foods you eat on a daily basis, what the kind of calories are and the macros are, you begin to intuitively be able to like track your macros. For example, me personally, I do not weigh my food every single day. Like, I do it every so often when I eat new foods, but the foods I eat day in and day out, I already kind of roughly know this can fit into my macros. I know what foods in general, like what I can eat. And that's what you want to get to. You don't want to get to the point where you have to weigh food till you die. You know what I mean? It's a long time to be weighing food. It won't be obviously as accurate as if you weighed out every single thing, but it lets it be a bit more flexible and a lot less stressful. If you're trying to do a competition now and like get like show ready, then I think you should actually like weigh things out, because you're doing it for a mission then. But if you're just trying to live life and just, as Chris Jones says, be hoe ready, then what you need to do is just get to a point where you can intuitively know what foods fit into your macros. So it's always important, in my opinion, to at least know roughly what your macros are. So when you get to the point where you don't want to track every single day, you should at least roughly know, okay, even though I didn't track using the scale, I know roughly I am at 200 grams of carbs today, 170 grams of protein, and 50 grams of fat. Moving on to the next most popular question is, and some people really believe this, they always say is, if you fit your macros, can you eat absolutely anything? And the answer is basically yes and no. Like, you can eat anything in moderation. A lot of people say this and try and pitch it like you can eat like pizzas every single day. You can eat a slice of pizza and fit that in, but you're not going to be able to eat a full whole pizza every single day, because if you think of the calories, it goes like a slice of pizza is like what, 300 calories. If you used to have a whole box of pizza, that's almost your calories for the full day, and the chances are the macro profile will not hit your daily goal. So it's one of those things where you can fit in small moderation bits of food, like you can eat in one slice of pizza, a couple Oreos, and like on different days, and make them fit in so it does fit your macros. But when younger people or newer lifters hear this, they truly believe that they can just eat anything. What are the benefits of tracking macros in comparison to just tracking your calories? Tracking your calories is overall the best thing you can do, because at the end of the day, calories in versus calories out is the most crucial point. But that's just like level one. If you want to move to the next level of like improving your physique and your diet and overall health, tracking your macros is great, because when you track your macros, that's when you get to a point where you can really hone down your training a lot more. You can see what, like, higher protein diet, do you feel better, or do you feel more satiated on that diet? Are you seeing more results in your physique? Are you looking a lot leaner? Things like that. When you get down to knowing exactly what macro profile you are following, you can make adjustments and see how your body reacts, because some people are really carb sensitive, some people are fat sensitive. So it's really, everyone, as I said, everyone's different. So you need to find out these little things. So when you track them, you already know as a base, like, okay, then when I'm having, say, an extra 10% of carbs, my body seems to look a bit more puffy, and I feel a lot more lethargic and really slow and heavy. So try moving your carbs down and moving the fats up. A lot of people react really well to that. In regards to me now, personally, I found tracking macros to be tedious at first, because it's just annoying having to try and obviously the initial stage of actually weighing all your foods, but when it got to a point where I actually realized what portion sizes were and stuff like that, and just naturally I knew what I could eat to fit into my diet without having to weigh every single thing, it became so much easier. And if you see the thumbnail, I finally started to look a lot better in my physique. Those of you that aren't new to this channel know that I can get lean, but I've never been able to really strip off some of the more of the body fat and get a little bit lower body fat percentage. And over the last probably 4 weeks, I have definitely seen a massive improvement since I've been tracking my macros a lot more. For the first 2 weeks, I was weighing everything just to kind of make sure that these new foods I'm eating, I know the portion sizes. And for the last probably 7 to 10 days, I've been more like intuitively just kind of eating. And I've still been seeing results. My training's been going on great. Definitely higher protein diets definitely do agree with me in my opinion. And I know that someone's always going to ask, the macros that I'm currently following right now, even though they are particular to me, I'm currently doing 185 grams of carbs, 175 grams of protein, and 53 grams of fat. So that's my macros. And personally, I believe that that is all the information you need to know when it comes to macros. The one thing I'm going to say before I leave is that do not neglect micronutrients. A lot of people always neglect micros because it's not like a fancy saying like if you fit your macros, but micros are really important for the body. One, they help absorb the macros that you're actually eating. So all that food you're actually eating, if you want them to be absorbed into your body and digest a lot easier, micros is the best way to do that. Plus vitamins and minerals, which are micros, overall are really good for your physique and your body as a whole. Like they have so much impact on the inside of your body. Like think of it this way, macros is more like the aesthetics. Like that's going to really change like the way you look, as in are you going to be chubbier, you're going to be more muscle bound, stuff like that. Micros now is the real, in theory, the more important bit. It's going to be looking after your heart and all sorts of different things like that. So do not neglect them. I'm not saying you have to eat 1,000 like portions of veg a day, but if you can at least fit in 2 portions of veg and 2 portions of fruit every single day, personally that's my aim that I try and follow, and it definitely does help. So don't neglect them, people, they are so important. But anyways, hopefully this video has been really informative for you guys. I tried to just give you the information. I was going to do like a crazy mad edit, but I thought it's better off just giving you guys information. If there's anything you feel like I haven't covered thoroughly in this video, let me know in the comments and I'll either reply it down below in the comments, or if I think like I could expand it further, I'll make a full video on it. But anyways, like, comment, subscribe, and if you enjoyed this video, please share it with a friend and give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you thought of it and if you want to see more, and if there's any other topics you'd like me to cover. Anyways, peace out, because I'm about to eat now because I'm starving, because I need to eat some food that fits my macros. So yeah, peace out, stay again, and I'm gone.